secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
And as you have seen in your invitation, it's a consultative meeting, which we don't expect it to go that long. But the whole idea is to brief institutions with regards to the plans and the strategies we have for the upcoming vaccination program, which is COVID-19. And I guess all of you are aware of these interventions, but again, it's important to give first-hand information to institutions because they are going to be the ones to lead this whole process at their various institutional level when it is being rolled out. So this is the whole idea of calling the institutional heads or managers and people responsible for various programs to be here, so we can give you the first-hand information as far as our strategies and our plans are concerned. And it will also give us the opportunity to have this interface dialogue, question and answers. Anything that is not clear would definitely be clarified to you, and we can all have a common understanding for the interest of the people of the Gambia. So as I said, I will be chairing this. First, I will want us to quickly do self-introduction. Let us know which institutions are present here for our records, and then this will be very, very much helpful for us when we are to roll out this program into the communities. Thank you all. May I start from the lady here on my left?
I am Aissatou Sebi, working with the Directorate of Health Promotion and Education as Communication Officer.
Deputy Managing Director.
Nice to meet you.
Representative for Bank Information and partner for World Bank in this program.
Thank you. You're welcome. Welcome. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Asal Kwante. I'm the Director of Health.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I am Chief Data Director of Public Health Gambia College.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Alma. Good morning. I am Emma Tyson. Good morning. I am Good morning. I am Consultation of
Thank you.
I am Learning Data Extension Director of the Department of Development.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Managing.
Good morning, I am
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Salif Pura and I work with the Director of Health Promotion.
Thank you all. And I guess the rest are the media. So yes, we have a gentleman. Yep.
Good morning.
Bobby.
I'm asking to people, sorry. If you can just raise your voice so that I can hear.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So I guess it's done. So yes, we'll be expecting more people to join us. But as I said, we don't intend to have this the whole day meeting. Actually, it will not be more than an hour and a half or so. So first, as I said, sitting here on behalf of the Minister of Health, we all know about the events of these days, which is all countries over the globe are planning to embark upon what we call the COVID-19 vaccination program. Yeah. So we can. Thank you. I hope I'm loud enough. Are you all hearing me? Yeah. So I don't need a mic. Okay. All right. So as I said, the Gambia is no exception to what is going around the world as far as the COVID-19 vaccination program is concerned. We all know about the COVID-19 pandemic and the threat that it has caused to our lives over the year, especially from last year coming to now. We are still battling with this pandemic as a country, and all hands were on deck from all sectors to collaborate and partner to end this pandemic in the country. We have done a lot as far as the response is concerned. Minister of Health, in partnership with all of you, no institution is left behind. We are all a living witness to what has happened last year up to now, where institutions have committed their resources, their technical expertise, their financial resources to end this pandemic in the country. This is not a secret. Everybody knows that this was the greatest partnership we have ever received so far, I would say, in the history of the country, where partners from all walks of life, and if I say all walks of life, I mean all walks of life, no one was left behind. They all committed their resources to this fight. And our prayers were, when shall we end this? And a lot of anticipation was given to the fact that the vaccine is being planned and rolled out or being experimented so that it can be rolled out to the general public. And people were with the belief that if and only if we can have the vaccination program, definitely would put a stop to this pandemic. This is from the scientific belief, and we all know these are facts. Yes, we have other preventive measures that are very, very important, but to put an end to such kind of a pandemic, a global pandemic, requires scientific intervention. And this goes to say that vaccination is one of the key important strategy or intervention that can really save us from these global threats. So thank God the scientists have done a lot, and a lot of vaccines were developed, and they've been rigorously tested, and they've been proven to be safe and effective. The Gambia, through consultation with key institutions and partners all over the world, also tried to roll out the same vaccination program to its citizens. And thank God, through the COVAX facility, we were able to secure over 30,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, which definitely is already in the country, and it has been launched. So the plan is, after the launching, the vaccine should be rolled out to the priority groups, and soon the presentations that are going to be done by my colleagues would cover these areas, and we will know what strategies do we have in place to get to the bigger population so that everybody can benefit from this. But just to say that our biggest support, and I have to thank our key partners who definitely contribute very well to get us this vaccine in the country, through the WHO country office, UNICEF country office. We also have Gavi, Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization. We have CPI, and also World Bank. Thank God, as we speak, we have vaccine need for 20% of the population. And there are needs, there are plans to roll it out to an additional 40% of the population. So we intend to cover at least 60% of the population based on the statistics we are using as far as the report is concerned. And this will be prioritized, as I said. As a start, we are going to target the health workers and those who are frontline to this COVID-19 response. And then gradually we will reach out to other priority groups such as the elderly people and also those who are at risk of being infected with COVID-19. So we have a whole lot of plan. The presentation will cover this. But just to let you all know that we are all together in this, and we are seeking your support. That's very, very, very crucial. And I really have to repeat it. We are seeking your support and underline it in bold, red, that your support is highly needed. Why I say this is because the government of the Gambia can never do it alone. We have to work with both public, private institutions, NGOs, civil society organizations, and a host of other platforms to put our resources together, to put our commitments together so that we can achieve what we want at the end of the day. We are with the belief that each and every institution here present have a very good structure behind, which at some point will be reached out to be covered in this vaccination program. And if we don't get the support of those institutions, it will be very, very hard for us and difficult to reach out to those populations. We believe institutions have a lot of followers behind them, a lot of members behind them. And we know there are a lot of conspiracy theories going around in the media and in the population, especially in our social media platforms. And already people have preconceived minds that these vaccines are harmful. But just to say that we have experts in this country who have been conducting and embarking on vaccination programs for many, many years ago. And Gambia has been one of the countries that has been recognized worldwide as best performing country when it comes to immunization programs. So immunization is not something new in this country. In fact, we have experts who are participating in the global platform in terms of vaccine experimentation and vaccine rollout. So just to give peace of mind to the population that the experts in this country will not bring anything that is harmful to its citizens. That can never, never happen. We are guided by protocols. We are guided by advice from experts both within the country and internationally. Gambia is part of the global platform. Since this planning for vaccination program starts in this country, there was a technical body that was set up in the Ministry of Health, of course coordinated by or chaired by the Honorable Minister himself. But in this platform, we have the most senior experts who sit there to advise the country what to do. This includes WHO country rep, UNICEF country rep, among others. World Bank. We have all these experts who are there to advise us. Not that we don't know what we are going to do, but they are there behind us to give us that technical advice and support and what the world is going by the standards. So this is something that I think is important for you guys to know. Not that you don't know, but we believe that you have a lot of followers who are not privy to such kind of information, and we believe that such information should be filtered down to those at that level, so that everybody would have confidence in the system. That is very, very key. This technical body sits or meets more regularly, sometimes 2 times in a week, until we were able to go in for the AstraZeneca vaccine. You know, there are a lot of other vaccines that were produced at the global level, which include the Pfizer biotech, includes the Sinovac, among others. So the country decided to go in for AstraZeneca based on experts' opinion, based on experts' advice, that this is the best for us as a country. So this is something definitely we have trust in, and we have confidence that it will definitely save us from this dreadful disease. No doubt, we are all studying the trends of even the condition of COVID, the situation of COVID-19 generally, because researches are going on. But so far, the results that we got from this study shows that the Gambia is safe to use COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine. Coming down to your roles as heads of institution or managers, we, as I said, cannot do it alone. We have to rely on partnership. There's no single institution who can definitely do this job alone. And this is why Minister of Health come up with a whole lot of strategies. And key among the strategy is called stakeholder engagement plan, which is very, very critical, and it has been in the center stage of our technical meetings, that we need to have a stakeholder engagement plan. And thank God, through the support of World Bank, and of course, our key partners such as Open Society Foundation were in the forefront, and I have to recognize their presence here, to see us push through this stakeholder engagement plan, both at the level of the ministry and at the level of the bank. And thank God, consideration is given to this particular activity that we are having here today. We have been meeting series of other institutions, series of meetings with other programs and institutions based on how we think they are critical to push this agenda. And of course, this goes with all other institutions here. We met with the National Assembly members because we feel they are very, very critical when it comes to dissemination of information and convincing their followers to believe the system, that these, whatever we are giving them, is going to work. And they really, really support this cause. This is part of the holistic consultations we want to do. We also met with the media chiefs and editors just last week, because we believe a lot of fake news is going around. And always is important, and that has always been my advice, that you verify, check, verify before publishing. Because it's important to verify. Not everything that goes on the social media is true. And how do you verify? Liaise with the authorities concerned. I think it's more important to get advice from the authorities themselves than any other person who is not an expert in that area. So it was a very important activity with the media chiefs, and they are ready to support our cause. Likewise, we are here to meet all of you again. We recognize the presence of the security officers here. We recognize the presence of the educational institutions. We recognize the presence of the media. We recognize the presence of the councils and the local government authorities, the CSOs, the private sector, and the NGOs. Why? Because at the end of the day, as I said, we have a plan. And the plan is to roll out the vaccine to reach out to the general population. At some point, we would want to vaccinate all the security officers in the country. But how would we go to a security institution just to come and say we are here to vaccinate you without them having the first-hand information of what we want to do? This is something that makes this meeting very important. And we believe from here you will go back to your various institutions and inform them of the development or the plans that we have for them. And this is the main reason why we are calling you here. As I said, I don't want to keep you long. If you give me the platform, I can talk all day long. So it's better you cut me off. But I again have to take this opportunity to thank all of you and your various institutions for answering to this call. And again to say that we are definitely anticipating to have a very strong working relationship with all of you. And not that, but we believe that from here, you are also going to be an advocate for us at your various walks of life to make sure our people get the right information and they get the best out of what we are giving them. I thank you all for your kind attention.
We have adequate capacity to store the vaccines for country needs. The COVID-19 vaccine. We all know that there are a series of vaccines in use globally, but as a country we received 36,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and this is what we are currently using, and this is made available to the country through the COVAX facility. And each individual is expected to receive 2 doses of the vaccine for optimal immune response. And we're going by WHO protocol. And as we know, is the technical arm that gives advice to government on all health needs. So each individual will have to receive their second dose at least 8 to 12 weeks. The country intends to vaccinate 60% of our population. However, COVAX facility will provide 20%, and the Gambian government with partners like World Bank will provide 40%. So in total, we'll be vaccinating 60% of our population. So the 60%, in terms of figures, we are vaccinating about 1.3 million. So looking at the statistic, 20%, we are vaccinating 487,000 individuals, and the 40% will be vaccinating 909,000 plus individuals. So if we add it, we'll have the statistics. So we intend to vaccinate that population. So as said by Buba, we know not everybody will be vaccinated. And even those who will be vaccinated, not every individual will be vaccinated at a go. Simply because currently we even receive 36,000 and we need to utilize these doses that we have. Though we expecting more vaccines, but they will come by trenches or by batches. So the current vaccines we have, this is where to guide the operation, we list priorities. Who and who should be vaccinated, when and what time. So as a start, the country intends to vaccinate health workers first, for 3 main reasons. One, we know we need to protect our health workers individually. And 2, we want our services at health facilities to be up and running. So we don't want any interruption in terms of service delivery. And 3, we don't also want our health workers to be source of infections to the general population. So these are the 3 main reasons why we want to vaccinate the health workers first. So from health workers, we now vaccinate individuals with comorbidities. We know even if you go through the statistics, the daily report, we've seen those who lost their life through COVID, most of them have underlying factors. So the disease is severe or the mortality is higher in them. So we intend to vaccinate them. We will also vaccinate older people 65 and above. We will vaccinate community workers, teachers, security forces, and the rest of the population living age 41 and above. So simply, the 20% from the COVAX facility will cover all individuals 41 and above, despite the priority list that you fall. So the remaining 40% that will be provided by government and partners, we intend to vaccinate 18 to 40 years. So in short, we say non-priority because depending on the availability of the vaccine, we will vaccinate them. But if there are no vaccines, which we are not foreseeing, we will not vaccinate. The vaccination strategy. As I said earlier, we've developed a plan called the National Vaccination Deployment Plan. And the plan is comprehensive. This meeting today is part of the plan. The movement of logistics from Kotu to Fatoto is part of the plan. So the delivery, how we intend to vaccinate is also part of the plan. So we know from the daily report, we were all following, or we are all still following. Most of our cases are from Banjul to Kalaj. So in terms of equity, we want to treat or we want to vaccinate these people first, then roll out to other parts of the country. And COVID-19 vaccination will also follow the priority groups. We had a plan and we said we're starting with health workers, go to the next group, go to the next group. So we know it's not easy, but we'll put all effort to ensure we go by the plan. Huh? Then health facilities, as we know, there are health facilities across the country. So these vaccines will be supplied to regions. We have regional stores. Regions will also supply facilities. And facilities will now vaccinate their catchment area based on the priority list given nationally. And we're going by two strategies. We'll have fixed things.
Obviously, the first thing that will come to my mind will be, I hope it is not the vaccine. But with or without that vaccine, I will be meant to get a stroke, for instance. So, you have to look at the level of, the rate or the prevalence of that condition, before the vaccination and within the vaccination. So there's not much difference. It's like that what is happening before the vaccination is still that is what is happening during that vaccination. So there are reports that, the blood clot is not related to the vaccination program. And even this morning, some countries were advised to, go ahead with the vaccination or the using of AstraZeneca, because for the fact that even if it is linked, to the blood, or the blood clot is linked to vaccination, then the risk there, stopping it is more risky than continuing. For the fact that, a lot of people have already received and they have been immunity and they have benefited from it, so they are protected. You might have smaller number of people who might have those kind of side effects. So it's easier to manage those small numbers than to expose the general population, 17 million, to the virus, and at the end of the day, you have, the consequences will be fatal than just control. But as you said, it's a big concern, and those countries definitely are concerned. It's a precaution that they have to halt, like we also did, during the weekend. It's a concern. But coming to your main point about what kind of surveillance plans do we have? We have, as someone said, anyone who is immunized, all the contact details are taken. And there is a form that you have to fill, and then you are also given a card, which will tell, there are a lot of histories that we take in that form, and also that card will be given to that person for the next appointment. So there is a contact details, so that you can always reach out. So there is that scheme. And also we are, popularizing our 1025 platform, that if anyone feel, after you've been immunized, you have, some kind of unusual side effects that you are not comfortable with, you can quickly call that number, and something will be provided for you so that you can have that response quickly. And then there are people who are trained as part of the AEFI, focal points, both in I think that the EFSTH and all other facilities. So they will be quickly, monitoring the case, and they can provide the required service that is needed. So that is already in plan. So advanced events following immunization, there is plans for that. Yeah. Yes. Committee, which I also sit in, and I was privy to a lot of information discussed at that level. And also, just to tell you that the committee doesn't only comprise of government institutions. It's a very comprehensive committee from various walks of life. But then some certain things might be observed by individuals outside, than those within the group. So it's a good observation. But just to say that, falling at 2C doesn't necessarily mean that, you are not going to be are you going to be left out. It's just like the graph. So, and as we are sure that, more vaccines are coming, because already we got the commitment from World Bank. I think, Mr. Janama, you are aware of this. So that, we are going to have another 40%. All these people falls under that. So we are starting with health workers. I know, it should be part of, securities are part of health workers. From day one.
Workers. Yeah. In addition to what Google said, maybe we even go by this because of the limited stock. Yeah. But if you have a larger stock, why not vaccinate everyone? Yeah. We are less than 1 million or 2 million or 2 million plus. So we can vaccinate everyone within 2 weeks. If you look at the 60%, this doesn't include the children, especially those below the age of 18. So if you look at their population and remove that out from the population of the whole country, you might be around 1.3 or 1.5. I'm not quite sure. But there are stories, as I said, even yesterday,
there was a report that they are commissioning a study to target the children also. So once those studies are released and then the vaccines are produced that are suitable for the children, also it will be rolled out to cover the entire country. But again, as you said, that bilateral can be there, and we see how best we include securities from the word go. Because already right now health workers are being vaccinated. We all know, and a lot of health workers already received their shots, including most of us here. But again, security should not be left behind. I agree, because we were all together from day one since the response starts. I was working with a lot of security officers in the hot response program, and we know the vital role that they have played. Being at the quarantine centers, manning this post, being at the central medical store, being at the treatment centers, being everywhere. So if the bilateral can see how best we can also roll it out of those because we don't want to have that gap between the authorities and the population. There should be that constant flow of information. Of course, informations that are misleading will be generated on the other hand, but if we also keep on giving them the facts all the time, probably one receive and a misinformation will be able to match it with the facts that he or she receive at the other end, and will definitely get the facts out of the on-facts. So I think these are some of the things that we have. We have a whole lot of plan actually, not only limited to consultation with various institutions, but we also go down to the grassroots level. And of course, we have the media there also, and including the social media that are very, very active. That's why we start with a press conference after the launch by the president. We went straight to a press conference. I think most of the media houses were present, and it was very important when the minister sits over that, and then the WHO rep and the UNICEF rep were there to give the facts to the media so that they can go back with that information to the general population. But again, as I said, it's not only limited to this. Very soon, our members, our regional offices, in partnership with their regional counterparts, most of you have structures at the regional level. At that level also, there are plans to embark upon a regional launch. And that launch probably most likely will start next week, if I am not sure, if all goes well. That regional launch is very important in a sense that it's going to give first-hand information to those at the grassroots level, especially bringing the resources together and partnership to collaborate at that level so that they can forge ahead with the vaccination program. So the launch will be there, but not only we will have as far as going to households, which the institution that Alagi is representing, that is the National Youth Council and the Red Cross, will have to work together very well, because there are volunteers at the grassroots level. There are allocations or resources for these people that also came from World Bank support, that is going to support Alagi's team, that is the National Youth Council. They have a lot of youths, or I can say they have all over in every community you go, they have represented. So using them to reach out to individual families, so there will be no excuse for one to say, I didn't hear it from the radio, I didn't hear it from the TV, I was not on internet. So you go and sit with the families themselves. Their capacities will be there. And that of Red Cross also, they have a lot of volunteers that works hand in hand with this. This is why we have identified all the strategies to reach to the last person at the village level, and including not only we know there are issues dealing with people going down without factoring the needs of the disadvantaged people. Those that we think we should work very hard for them to get. We have a gentleman who is representing Gobi here, and we all know they also need the information, as we also need the information. There is no discrimination here, there is no segregation here. But most of the time, programs goes and completely leave out areas that are definitely very, very important, because they don't put it in the plan clearly to say, how are we going to reach people who will have difficulty in accessing information. So all these things are catered for, and there are plans to have separate activities with people with disability or other conditions, including people with
the one responsible. So modify sexual behavior, abstinence, and sterility. Sexual behavior, sometimes ladies will use so many things to spice up themselves. but it's not encouraged or it's not recommended for people to be using such things. So we need to modify such. The HPV vaccine is safe and effective vaccine. The vaccine is 95% effective against infection. So this one is 95% effective and is very safe, one of the most safe vaccines in the world. HPV vaccine prevents. We have a vaccine that contains about 4 strains. I talked about the 6 and 11 for genital warts, that's the Seketo, and I talked about the 16 and 18. So the vaccine that we have is a quadrivalent vaccine, meaning about 4 strains. It will take care of the Seketo and will take care of the HPV viruses.
Almost.
Yes, I'm almost there.
Okay.
So this vaccine is not a new vaccine. It has been demonstrated in 2014 and 2015. So see what strategy we will use, not about demonstrating to see the safety, no. We were demonstrating to see what model we're going to use. And we used the school-based model. We had about 82% in 2015. And in 2016, the second year, we also had about 91% coverage. So it's not a new vaccine. From then to date, we are still continuing on annual basis. So annually, the target populations are the grade 3. That is our strategy. Grade 3s are our annual target. But because we failed in completing some of our doses in 2020, we were not able to vaccinate in 2018, 19, we wrote out. 2020 we did not, so we owe them their doses. This is why we are now targeting these people. Year before last, 2019, we vaccinated first dose 111,000 children. More than 111,000 children were vaccinated for their first dose. Now their second dose is due. We want to vaccinate. But in 2020, we couldn't because of the corona and schools were closed. So we could not give them their second dose. So now we are giving them their second dose as well as the first dose for grade 3. I told you every year we are going to target grade 3. So this year we are targeting up to 154,000 children. So as I said, we have a two-way delivery strategy. We have a school-based strategy and we have an outreach strategy. The school-based is where teams will go to schools and then be vaccinating children or the girls. And then the outreach are our usual trekking sites where we will also allow children who are unfortunate to be part of the schools to be vaccinated, to have equal chances. So these are some of the orientations that we went through. And these are the...
Thank you. We're expecting the stakeholders, as we said, to help us in the message dissemination. As you know, the Ministry of Health alone cannot do the dissemination of the message. So every person here, or every participant, is representing an institution. And if that individual goes back to give a feedback to the people behind him, will go a long way in helping the spread of the message that the vaccines are available, and we have priority groups as of now, but we hope to vaccinate every individual in Uganda who is eligible for the vaccination. With regards to the vaccine, that is the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was given to the Gambia by COVAX. We have seen a lot of conspiracy theories with this vaccine. Now that we are also seeing countries suspending the vaccine because of side effects that it's showing. Wouldn't you think that it is possible if the Gambia government, particularly the Ministry of Health, to hold on the vaccination campaign for at least 2 weeks to see how, investigations, because we all know investigations are going on with regards to the vaccine? Yes, Gambia is no exception to any other country, because Gambia we're also working under the guidance of the technical arm, that is the World Technical Arm for Health, that is WHO, who is supporting and then giving us the technical support in terms of health. So we've consulted them since the beginning of that misconception or the information that we received that the AstraZeneca was concerns over AstraZeneca, but we came to realize that there are also some updates that we received from WHO to say countries who have stopped are still continuing. Some of them have still continued pending that let's say the vaccine is not related to the issue that is at hand, like the blood clotting. The vaccine is not responsible for the blood clotting because findings have been done that it is more prominent in those people who are not vaccinated than present in those who are vaccinated. So it has no relationship. So this is why we paused for a while. Since we had a stop, and then we listened to them and they made the finding and report back to us. So we started it to continue the AstraZeneca. So it has no relationship. Yes.
We've also seen you have at least dealt with when it comes to the HPV vaccine, which I think should be well informed to the general public, because there is also a misconceptions with regards to the HPV vaccine and also the coronavirus vaccine, to an extent of parents preventing their children from not having this vaccine. So what can you tell us about this HPV vaccine?
As on the presentation, the HPV vaccine has been going on from 2014 to date. And the reason why we're giving it at this time is because 2019 we rolled out to the entire country and we vaccinated almost about over 119,000 children who received their first dose, and now it was time for them to receive their second dose in 2020, and we knew in 2020 we had a lot of issues about coronavirus and school closed for almost 7 months. We couldn't have access to those children. So this time around we have access to those children. We wanted to vaccinate them their second dose. It is not about the first dose, in fact it is the second dose. About over 119,000 children got already their first dose, and we know with the HPV you only have to have two doses to the immune. So it's like we are giving the second dose. It is not related to COVID, because COVID is covering for persons, the targeted persons for COVID is 18 years and above, and we are targeting HPV 9 years to 14 years. So those are our targets for HPV, and the HPV is for cervical cancer prevention, as we may know. So it's an annual school vaccination that we do, targeting grade 3. So parents should understand that this has no relationship with COVID. The COVID vaccination is targeting persons who are 18 years and above. Yeah.
Now you have mentioned the targeted group for this HPV vaccine is from grade 3 to above. Now that we are also seeing a particular age group that is also targeted with regards to this vaccine, are those above 18 also will be included with regards to the HPV vaccine, more especially those that are not more into sexual. Basically, the vaccine, as of the manufacturer, is recommending 9 to 14 years. But in school, we are going in for the grade 3s. Even if you are maybe beyond 14 years, we still give you, because we don't want you to deny you and you feel otherwise. Because you are in the same class with me, I got the shot and you didn't, you may feel otherwise. So this is why we're blindly giving to children who are 9 years to 14 years in outside the school, but in school days we are giving it to grade 3. So for children who do not have 9 years, are not giving the vaccination. We will settle for the individual to receive it when the child is 9 years old. Okay. Now, I want us to say it in Mandinka for the benefit of those that are watching. Nigeria ko ayo COVID-19 HPV vaccine bendiyo to the primary understand. But in Nigeria fana ko wili jama bije ibiye balile kan HPV kanyin vaccine ta into an extent of immune officer yata school pre kanyin vaccine so I know there is targeted group all grade 3 above, but also women are sexually active into exactly for financing vaccine and even for the parents so the vaccine no kumakani minti wala minti ko ile kufula yenyani kan ni manki kilenti ni cervical cancer wala ni bunda mbe wala tankandi kan kurangala ni yalon ka kam sol batande andi ni pengo amita karambo to ka ni hakilo ba kan serum ko ni kele serum ko ba ni kele so amita ko a flamma wala be takan ko bindi ni wala first dose ta scientist wala nanta ko la second dose ta mini ati na ni second dose so wala corona ti ka binde alon ko serum coronavirus no batandilam kanna be ko kene anan so wala ko ni ta binde sayin baje kanko bindi ni la second dose so pour ye muna fangala ka je ko ye tankata ni cervical cancer woni covid manke kilinti kan cervical cancer the bindi wal target ka wala grade 3 ti kata grade 4 grade 5 grade 6 up to grade 9 in some regions so region pindi delto min bako makati pindo man sa ko pindo ani base pindo ni not bank pindo so ndole ya marka priye bindi bla ye la second pindo ta ka ye pindo follow tale serum na man na so de wala ti na madino bari ni ko madi scientist bari awape sitale awape lafta tambulam bule fam bari andi mbaje ko dinni ko mba katale ko dinni la second dose ta pour ye tanka ha ani covid mankilin covid vaccine yo mata ke balle ni yalon ko sangitan ani sey katawo santola dinni te pengola ni yalon ko wolam covid pengot woto min ta senala wali lale nana ta yini wala karole be min fala ga priye dinga bula am lebi HIV pendo so tay saje min be kankan do no nana ta seketo la karo bari na am fana ka seketo jaraw amin kansa ha ko min pengol be amin ke penguti ni wala ka sasa jara bara ke tankandele so wala atinan ka di dindi la janni ka din futu dinoto so ba jela ko min atra dindi nata la bes fulata woto mari tankata o sekete kurang alani kurang bola ni alan ko de soto la futo la karola jama biji wala musabakal kansa yina ya bunda kurang ala tankala walal so mba yila ya marle dinil bula ye full protection so wala ka ten flow ni soto pour ye bala soberol soto pour que tankandi kurang la ni yina bunda la kurang ha abaraka ba
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
And if you want the beat,
Gam Service in Focus with Khalil Banjang every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m.
industry. You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector. You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations. The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions.